Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the T1 heavy tank. It's a tier 5 American heavy. It's located on the assault team on Ghost Town, and it's under the command of SlyMeerkat, and with him in this battle is Omen Enraged. Where is he? There he is. He's in the M485. Well, T1 heavy. It was the development of the T1E2, started in May of 1940, designed as a heavy tank, and well, it features a cast hull, which makes it very tough at the front. It's also got a hydromechanical transmission, double disc hydraulic, is it converter? I think that is. And it was later designated as the M6 when they converted some of them with the 90mm gun. This one has a 76mm, or is it 75? I think it's 75 actually. It is 76 actually, I'm wrong. 115 alpha, 128mm penetration with standard rounds, and with the premium rounds it does 177mm. It's very strong from the front. The armor's very strong from the front. You can see he's just bounced around from a ST Viz 39, or Strodny Viz 39. That's the Czech medium. It's very difficult to penetrate from the front, and if you slightly angle the vehicle, it's even better. But you don't want to over-angle this tank, because if you do, it's even worse. Because, of course, the thin sides are very porous to enemy shells. Well, he's doing rather well here at the moment, because he hasn't suffered any hull damage at all. He's just getting tracked, and the enemy shells bouncing off. The tank that finally does pen him is a T1 heavy to his right. There he is, his opposite number. Now he's over angled, and that's why the shells are going straight through him. See, he's picked the wrong way to do it, and he's about to be out of the game. Yeah, there you go. And his first kill for SlyMeerkat. Okay, there's a P2640, the Italian medium. It's actually quite good, but now we've got a different matter. This is a KV1, and he's got a weak spot just along where Sly's aiming, the driver's ports, and there goes the second kill. Now I have some bad news to report during the battle, and Sherman managed to make his way in here, but he's going to have to pay for it now. We just lost our gunner, so the gunner's back up with the first aid kit, and that Sherman's about to die. There you go. Yes, I have some bad news to report. SlyMeerkat, as you may know, actually owns a pair of meerkats. They name of Toffee and Bunch, and unfortunately, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, just after I completed the videos for Sly, Toffee unfortunately fell unwell and died. Sly was very, very upset, as you would be, because if you've lived with these creatures as your personal companions for so long, and they've been such a big part of your lives, it can be devastating when you lose one. He still has Fudge, and he's taking care of Fudge, but they really were a pair together. And as you know, meerkats, they've got a very family-oriented life, where they stand up looking for any threats, and these two would sit on the windowsill watching the people go out by outside, and obviously a lot of the outsiders would see them too. And so Toffee and Fudge were both fairly popular. They even appeared in the newspaper. T28's about to die, and we've capped out. So I think this game's about to be over. Oh, last kill of the game with a RAM. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for SlyMeerkat and T1 heavy tank. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 9. You got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, a shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, and a few battle hero medals as well. He got the Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team, a steel wolf for blocking the most damage on the game, at least 1,000 hit points and over 11 blocked hits, as well as a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a top gun when he killed that T-28. It was the 6th kill on his game, so he got that medal as well. If we look at team score, we can see that yes, he definitely came top with 3,126. The nearest player to him was the M4A2 T34. That's a new tank to me. Is that Loza's Sherman? Well, I think I think it's a revised one. It's a M4 with a T34 turret, I think. Anyway, 1,085, and that was Omen Enraged, and 1,003 went to the Panzer III Ausrung J. Okay, when it came to kills, Sly's got that one. 6 kills to him, 2 kills to the M10, and 2 kills to the P43, as well as the Panzer III. And when it came to base XP, yeah, he's got that one as well. 1,465 to Sly, 795 to the M4 to A2 T34, and 546 to the M10. And where is Omen Enraged in this one? Oh, he was actually the M4A2. There he is. Right, so anyway, let's have a look at detail. 38 shots fired, 33 direct hits, and 31 penetrations. Damage of 3,126, of which 235 were at more than 300 meters. 15 hits received from the enemy, 2 of them penetrated, 11 non-penetrations. The shots that actually penned came from the other T1 Heavy, and he was shooting into his side around the corner. 11 non-penetrations just goes to show how tough that front of the T1 Heavy is. So long as that's the only thing they're aiming at, so long as they don't use APCR, they'll find it difficult to get through. He also took 2 hits by way of splash damage, 890 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 4 enemy vehicles spotted, 12 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, and 597 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 39,188 credits from the game, 29,391 from personal reserves, 94,051 credits altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables took away a profit of 68,411 credits overall. 1,465 XP, 1,099 for personal missions payout, 330 for playing in a platoon with Omen Enraged, and 3,627 experience points altogether. So as our usual feature, we're now showing you the armor layout and then the module layout. Here is the module layout for the T1 Heavy tank. As you can see, well, the module, it's the armor layout, what am I saying? You can see the armor is incredibly tough around the front. In fact, slightly angled like this, you can see very difficult to penetrate through the front of the tank because the armor is quite strong. If you look at it straight flat on, you can see that it's even, yes, it's still strong on the enemy. They do have a few spots that they can aim for. This driver's port here, but you can't really aim for this part here because even though it looks as if it's thinner, it's actually very well angled, so the effective armor there is only over 170, and it's a little less down here at 95. That's where I think that's where the transmission is. You've got some spots on the cheeks there which you can aim, which are slightly less, but you can see from the front a T1 Heavy is very difficult to defeat, and you've virtually got no cupola to work with. But if you hit the sides, you can easily get through T1 Heavy because look at that, the armor drops to about 60 degrees, 60 millimeters rather. And if you go for the rear, yes, it's even worse. It's 46 millimeters. So ideally you want to hit the sides or the rear and hope that the enemy over angles. Either that or you're going to have to use APCR and see if you can punch your way through the front of the vehicle. So anyway, that's the armor. Let's have a look at the modules. Okay, here's the module layout on the T1 Heavy, and you can see that there's a rather large crew actually on this tank. The driver's up front, and that's where the driver's port is. Next to him is the driver's mate, or rather radio operator, and he's got the radio right next door to him. Right next door to the gun, either side of the gun is a gunner. So there's 2 gunners for this tank, not 1, but 2. Normally they'd have just 1. And the commander is sitting directly behind one of the gunners. He's got the viewports. and on the other side, behind the other gunner, is the loader. Okay, the modules in terms of ammo rack, right in the center of the tank, directly below the turret. You'd have to fire through the tracks to try and get at it. You've got a return roller there, there, and there, and then the actual bogies down below. But you can shoot through the sides. If you aim directly for the center of the tank, where the turret is, you should be able to punch through and hit the ammo rack. It is on the other side of the vehicle, so it's on the left-hand side of the vehicle. But there is a ready rack just below the turret. So if you're looking at the back of the turret directly down on the left-hand side of the vehicle, there's the ready rack, and you can aim at that one as well. The engine is right in the center at the back, as you can see. Transmission down at the bottom. The transmission isn't up front. I don't know what made me think that the transmission was up front. It's in the rear on this one. And the fuel tanks are actually in the hind rear area. As you can see there, you can hit them on either side of the vehicle. So that's where the modules are. If you want to get an ammo rack, aim preferably for the left-hand side of the vehicle, or right-hand side if you're from that perspective. As you're looking at it, it's the left-hand side. And hopefully you'll be able to hit something critical. Well, just before we go, obviously this replay came from SlyMeerkat. Here's a picture of his companion who's sadly gone. This is Toffee. He was one of his two meerkats. They would sit on the windowsill watching everyone go by. He's in London. And yes, sadly, Toffee is no longer with us, but we'll always remember him. I never met him myself, but obviously I feel like I met him because I've seen so many photos of him over the time, and he will be remembered. And at least Sly's got his other meerkat, Fudge, who keeps him company now. But Toffee won't be forgotten. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.